公民总主笔。
Welcome to Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station. I'm your host, Ross Darrell Feingold. Today, our special guest is Michael Wu from MyTaiwanTour.com. Michael, welcome to the show.
Yeah, how are you doing?
We're doing great. We're going to talk about traveling in Taiwan, some great places to visit, why Michael decided to get into the touring and travel business, especially with the foreign visitor segment. But before we get into that, Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself. Which part of Taiwan did you grow up?
It's exciting, like Friday night. You talk about, travel, right?
Weekend's a good time to travel.
Yeah. Okay, so about myself, like I studied abroad like when I was 15. So I went to California in Santa Barbara for high school, and then after that I went to the Arizona State, ASU for college.
Wow, Santa Barbara, that must have been really tough living in such a nice place for high school. Wow,
for high school,
my heart goes out to you.
Oh, really? But for me, it's good. It's good for a retirement place.
Well, horses are popular too, right? Isn't it? They have a lot of people that do horseback riding there.
But the nice sea view, it's fantastic.
How did you leave? Wait, you went from the sea view to Arizona?
Like I decided.
No sea there.
I decided.
Desert.
Because I was like really frustrated at the time when I picked out the college, because I got the entrance from BU, Boston University, and also like Indiana. But I just figured out for staying in California for 4 years, I got too much stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really hard for me to move, so I started to leave the California, but somewhere close. That's why
you could give it all away. You don't need to take.
Well, at time, you don't want to just give everything. So I put in everything in one big van to move to Arizona. Yeah, so it's really a lot of stuff, and I still love sunshine, but it's too much sunshine in Arizona.
But before you moved to California, or when you were living in California, did you? Because I'm asking this because you're in the travel business now. Yeah. Did you travel a lot as a child? When you were 5-10 years old, did you travel around the world a lot with your family?
Actually, my dad and mom own a travel agency when I was a kid.
Well, that would certainly help travel as a family.
That's a place I grew up, with a travel agency, and then until now I've been travel 60 countries already, more than 100 destinations.
Share with us some of the places you went as a child when you were really young. Where did your parents take you? That might be unusual. Don't tell us Japan. Tell us something unusual.
My parents didn't take me.
Oh, really?
I traveled by myself at 10.
Wow.
Yeah, so usually travel with their travel group. Mm-hmm. But the most places I visit when I was a kid with a family vacation is like Perth, Western Australia. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a great cabinet, great place for fishing. I still remember there's a place with a lake and good cabinet, so we enjoying the barbecue steaks and fishing with a grilled fish, and this all the nature I remember. And then when I grew up a little bit, I start travel to Europe. And if you're talking about what's the most destination I like, first of all, of course, Taiwan. Secondly, I would say Croatia.
It's a very popular place to travel to in the last few years. It certainly helps that there's no longer a war like there was in the 1990s.
Yeah.
It's now safe to travel.
But now it's so different. You still see the damage from the war, but it's all different now. The city is beauty.
And it's also, a lot of historical buildings, castles, and the beaches. It's known for the beaches as well.
Yeah, nice beach. Like you see the Mediterranean seas. Wow, it's like a sapphire blue ocean. Yeah, it's pretty.
Now, you mentioned you studied in Arizona. What do you remember most about living in Arizona besides the sun and the desert?
Well, I see like Arizona, there's a lot of wild nature stuff. There's a place called Sedona with the big rocks, and it's a great place for camping. Usually, during like spring and fall, usually we just spend so much time camping. Yeah.
What about the people, the cuisine, and the Native American culture?
I would say Arizona is pretty white. Yeah, so 80% like Caucasian, like you hardly to see Asian there. So you see really American style, the way of living, even the sushi. I was working in the sushi restaurant, it's a funny story. Like, I was doing the sushi chef. Yeah, I was learning on how you make sushi, and you see like a lot of people come into a restaurant and teaching his girlfriend, how to use chopstick. This is a funny story. Every day I see like people,
they're struggling with it.
They're struggling with it, yeah. But I saw it. This is not how you use chopstick. But they try to show off to a girlfriend. Oh, this is how you use chopstick in Asia.
Did you interfere at that point? Did you join the? Did you tell them?
Yeah, say, oh, this is how you eat sushi. Michael is from Japan. Like, they don't even know where I'm from.
Well, let that be a lesson to all of our listeners, especially the young ones. That when you're in university in America, it's very normal to have a part-time job. Yeah, even with a very difficult course load like what you studied. You studied aeronautical management. What exactly is that?
So aeronautical management, well, most of my friends or classmates, like they are pilots. So they fly the planes. But, I'm the only child, so my mom not allow me. So you have to understand how you flight, how you design the engines, how you do the UAV, on aerial vehicle, so how you design and how you it's everything about airplane. It's what we do like for the course.
It sounds like you really liked Arizona. Did you think about staying there, or you knew you wanted to come back to Taiwan?
No, it's actually Arizona is not my priority to stay. After Arizona, I wouldn't come back to join the army, but unfortunately my mom picked a wrong places. So in Taiwan, everybody have to serve the army, right? So instead of serving the army, like he pick it's called there's an embassy volunteer. So I served my years in Nicaragua.
In Nicaragua, not at their embassy in Taipei. You went to Nicaragua.
So I can't come back to Taiwan, landed for 3 months for training, and then I sent it. I was dispatched to Nicaragua, Managua.
So you speak Spanish very well now.
Yeah.
Oh, terrific. Why didn't they send you to the Air Force since you studied aeronautical management? It would seem logical. Or a helicopter unit in the Army.
I know, yeah. So, it's just, I don't know, it's a good luck or bad luck, I didn't expect, I served my army in a foreign country, and a country I never thought about I would travel to, but it's really, I think, because I speak English, so they think it's one of one.
Well, that makes sense. You speak English, so send you to a Spanish-speaking country. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That's government for you.
Yeah, the government for yeah. So everything makes sense to me. So I spent like 3 months to pick up Spanish in Taiwan, and I was sent it to Nicaragua. But the 2 years there was fantastic. This answer your question, like there's a place I don't want to come back. Because the life's really different compared to Taipei, so intense, but there is like relaxed and easy. But the thing is, you see a lot of potential there,
and also it's easy to travel to the nearby countries, some of which are great places to visit, like Costa Rica,
Peru,
Belize,
a lot of historical site.
But yet you still came back. Are you friends with President Ortega over there in Nicaragua? He's up for re-election. Is he going to win?
I think if he keep winning, I think it's good for Taiwan. He's really supporting Taiwan. So when I was there in Managua, he's still not a president. But after I left, he became president. So
again, because he was president a long time ago.
So I think it happened everywhere in Central South America, president for a long time. But depending on, I think very interesting. Like if you're staying in Central America and South America, I mean, it's a really different world. Compared to Taipei, so modern. Like there, you see. Well, now I heard it's better because of my tutor, Spanish tutor there. They told me everything is improving. But when I was there, like McDonald's, it's one of the really decent restaurant in town.
Wow.
So people gathering, like rich people, wealthy people gathering in McDonald's.
So kind of like when you were talking about when you were in Arizona and the guy tried to impress his girlfriend by taking her to a sushi restaurant. Maybe in Nicaragua, tried to impress her girlfriend by taking her to McDonald's. But speaking of different worlds, when you came back to Taiwan, you did work in the aviation industry here in Taiwan.
China Airlines.
How was that different from what you learned in school? In university, and they learned you learned about different aspects of the aviation industry and the engineering side. But then you actually worked in an airline in Taiwan. How was that different from maybe what you thought it would be like, or what were your impressions when you came into the industry?
When I was in the school, my dream job is selling an airplane. which I really made it. When I was in China Airline or Mandarin Airline, you know, my job's buying the airplane and selling the airplane, which, you know, it's my profession. Yeah, so I know how you sell the engine, how the structure of an airplane. So it's not really big difference. Like, but the thing is, I think it's good, like for some audience, younger audience, you know, what you learn from the school, maybe it's not what you did in the job, you know. But for me, it's really lucky, you know, how I use my professional to work in the airline.
So you literally handled the sale of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of
$100
aircraft
million,
parts.
yeah, 747.
Yeah, what aircraft is
how
how much?
well, I did, like, even the aircraft is still flying now. Like, I don't know if you see the Mandarin Airline, all the ERJ and Embraer.
Those are all you.
Yeah, it's all you. One aircraft's about, well, at times like 20 million. One aircraft.
And you bought the whole fleet for
a aircraft.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting job.
Yeah, when you see them flying around, you know that you helped negotiate that.
Yeah, I also like do a propose to my wife on the airplane.
You proposed to your wife on an airplane?
Yeah, the plane I bought.
Did the crew know about this? Had you discussed it with everyone before?
On the airplane.
Yeah, where were you flying to?
No, I was flying to Taipei to Taitung. Yeah, domestic flight for the first sunrise.
Okay, so how many minutes after takeoff did you propose? Because that's a short flight. You don't have much time.
Yeah, so I asked them to go cruise around.
Well, that doesn't sound very environmentally friendly.
No, just kidding. Yeah. So it's only
expanded the footprint.
It's like 45 minutes flight to Taitung, so I did like 20 minutes later. It's very interesting.
She said yes.
Yeah, so now
she didn't like need to take out one of those paper bags and like, throw up, did she?
Well, yeah, but she said yes and take a ring. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, were there other passengers on the flight as well?
Yeah.
Did they know?
It
was a regular scheduled flight.
Yeah, it's for local stars also on the plane, so they helped me to host the entire airplane. Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did everybody cheer? Did the captain make an announcement that she said yes?
Yeah.
Is this service available to members of the public? Can someone call up China Airlines and arrange this?
Yeah, it's still available, you know, because this thing I did, so it become a package for every year now. Okay. Every year, first day of the January.
Anyone can book this.
Yeah, every first, or even this year they have it with Army concert.
Okay.
Yeah, so people fly to Taitung. We join the concert.
I meant the marriage proposal part, though. Can anyone arrange for the captain to make an announcement?
Sure. Yeah. Call me. Yeah.
You have to give the captain like a little envelope of cash to bribe him to do this.
No. You just need to pay the entire airplane. I know how much is the price. Yeah.
Then you also worked a bit in a foundation that does development assistance.
Oh yeah,
for Taiwan.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about working in this kind of organization.
Well, it's an NGO of Taiwan, and there's a place I served my army term. So you see like how ICDF, where Taiwan is helping a lot of third world country. Yeah, by delivering like all the agriculture knowledge, by delivering all the technology knowledge. So what you do is helping out the third world country, you know, to have a better environment, better construction, better life. Yeah, for local people.
How did that help you, that kind of work help you for later on, what you do now, dealing with foreign visitors to Taiwan?
I think it's important, like, at time, you know, I get to meet a lot of foreigners because every day around me is foreigners. Yeah, so I have an angle, and also from my, as I say, I studied abroad when I was 15. Like, so those experience really helped me to see what's the angle, how foreigner to see, and how foreigner are willing to travel. Yeah, so it's really helped me a lot. Yeah.
And you started MyTaiwanTour.com. What was the inspiration? What was the moment when you said to yourself, and you mentioned that your parents had also been in the travel agency business, but what was the moment or the event that inspired you to start your own tour agency?
Well, the thing is, when I was kids, when I was study abroad, you know, when I was 15, and also the experience in Nicaragua, you know, whenever I try to introduce myself, I say I'm coming from Taiwan. And this one experience I remember, like when I was at college, I traveled to Alaska, and when I check in with the concierge and I talked to the concierge I can't say, well, we have a great discussion about, so I found Taiwan, and the guy told me, oh yeah, it's a great travel experience for me, and blah, blah, blah. And in the end, he was, I asked him, like, what's your favorite food? He told me it's pad thai. So, in the 10 minutes, we are talking about different places.
Yeah, the truth is, that happens a lot.
Yeah, if on states, so
a lot of people make that mistake.
That's really a big motivation for me. How come people know Thailand, not Taiwan, but everything around you is actually made in Taiwan. So why don't we do something like soft power to introduce Taiwan, not instead of just iPhone, instead of just computer, but we need to show a foreigner how beauty of Taiwan. That's my motivation come from.
What was the reaction from your parents who are in the travel business already, so they knew a lot about this business? When you said, I'm going to start my Taiwan tour, what did they say to you?
Oh, they totally against it. Yeah, because
first I want to thank you for your honesty, Michael.
Well, I say it to other media too, because not only me, all the second generation, usually the dad doesn't want to the kids work harder, because they spend so much time, and a lot of endeavors in the job, so they want me to take the easy way to run the jobs. So they think I'm crazy to leave a China airline. But I don't think I'm crazy, because when you start up company, my experience, everybody will against you. But if nobody against you, then there's no markets. But everybody against you, there's a markets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What were some of the organizational challenges you had when you did start the business? You have a lovely website, but that's relatively easy to code a nice website.
Yeah.
What were some of the challenges? Was it finding staff, or where to advertise, how to get clients?
Well, from initial stage, I try to have products on MyTaiwanTour.com with really in-depth travel. For example, I take you to a hidden place in Alishan, or I take you to the local farm tea farm. Yeah, so for the first 6 months, I didn't get any orders. Yeah, so I try to figure out what's going on, and then I start buying a Lonely Planet or the guidebook talking about Taiwan, and I start, so I should adjust my product. We shouldn't go so in-depth, because people receive the information with an English guiding book, all about Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall, Taipei 101. So people not really interested about all the hidden places. So I start refurbish my products and adjust my products. So after 6 months, I start getting the orders coming from. So yeah, it's really challenging, if you think about selling Taiwan with your own mindset. It's never work out. You have to attach to the clients, how consumer wants, the consumer's needs. So that's how I figure out.
What about the licensing side? Was it difficult to become a licensed tour agency, or for your staff as tour guides to get licenses? Is that challenging?
For tour guide license, easy, but
anyone could be a tour guide.
Well, you have to take an exam.
Yeah,
but the
exam is easy, or is it hard?
For you, probably hard, because it's all in Chinese.
Well, Michael, I do read a little bit of Chinese.
Okay, yeah, but in 5,000 years history, it's in multiple choice. You still got 4 options. So anyway, so for getting a guide is easy, but for our company, it's really difficult to get into, because we have a self-training system. Because most of our clients, really high-end clients from all over the world. We have a client from 70 countries, so we really have a high demand to a tour guide. So how you guiding the places, how you serve your guests. So we have a really high standard to do it. Yeah.
So what is the minimum you're looking for when when you're advertising for new tour guide staff? And if it's somebody who's never done this before, what are your expectations?
So
for staff?
Licensed guy is a must, but also usually we're looking for people with a TOEIC 850. Yeah, but most of our customer service are 850. Yeah.
Okay, there's another good message for the young people out there. If you want to be a tour guide with MyTaiwanTour.com, you need to have at least an 850.
Yeah,
it's quite high, isn't it?
It's quite high. Yeah. Even China Airlines with a pilot, it's only 650 or 700.
Okay, I think I might be worried now when I fly. But 650 is enough to understand the air traffic control.
Air traffic control. Yeah. So, well, I think 700 is really good already. But when you speak out, it's different. When you're guiding, it's totally different story. Yeah.
But when you look at somebody's resume, a young person, are you also looking for somebody who did a lot of extracurricular activities at school? I mean, how do you determine if they're sufficiently outgoing to be a tour guide?
Well, because usually we are our interview section has been usually running for 2 hours, so we will have a section called storytelling section. So we asking the interviewers prepare a story. So you have to keep talking.
Just like you're doing now.
Yeah, just like doing. Keep talking without nothing. And just keep talking and talking and talking. And also we have some interview math to see how this person is outgoing or not, and also with a test. Yeah, it's called a DISC test. So we will figure out what's your personality about. Yeah, well, it's a very difficult interviews.
Yeah. Would you call that subjective or is it objective? I mean, is a lot of it just your feel whether or not someone is going to make for a good tour guide?
It's, I think, more objective.
Really?
Yeah, for me.
By just looking at the test results.
Looking. That's
probably because of that engineering side of your schooling.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but this math, how we interview, actually we work with a consulting firm before. So, and also the Tsinghua University. So 3 stakeholder, we work together
to design the
entire interview program.
And after that, do you do internal training as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Even now, we don't have any business, but we still do the internal training.
Tell us a little bit about what occurs in internal training. Is it just introducing the tourist destinations, or is there historical knowledge?
Well, there's few things for example, service guideline, and also how speaking out tourist POI, point of interest, attraction. It's must. Yeah, how you guiding a place without anything for 10 minutes. Okay, and also service, how we serve the client, with a different situation scenario. For example, what if the client is sick but he still want to travel? So how you deal with a real situation. The crisis management is also one thing we are looking for.
Have you had some crises
well, it's a lot
that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, a lot. For example, we have a client bring his servant to Taiwan. Yeah, so the client has a lot of requests, including the tour guide, because the tour guide was talking about how you exchange money in Taiwan, and the client thoughts is this tour guide loves money so much, so he doesn't like it. So he asked us to change the tour guide right away after he met him in the airport. So we only have 1 hour to change the tour guide. Yeah, which it's really challenging for us because we have to care about tour guys feeling, and also we have to manage the clients. So it's very challenging. So, but I think for the travel industry, there's always every day is a challenge.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a short break, but when we come back, we'll talk more about foreign tourism, tourists to Taiwan, great places to visit. You're listening to Residence Messenger on Taipei Broadcasting Station.
Wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. But this child awaits, strong in the faith.
Welcome back to Residence Messenger on Taipei Broadcasting Station. Our guest today is Michael Wu from MyTaiwanTour.com. Michael, you mentioned earlier in the show COVID-19, and now you have a lot of time for staff training. We all know that the situation in Taiwan has been managed very well, but of course, one of the reasons for that is a nearly complete halt on foreign visitors coming in. Quickly, what was there a moment when, say back in March, when you realized it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any customers coming to Taiwan this year.
Exactly.
Was there like a moment where you just really, it just hit you, that this really could, substantially stop business?
Yeah. So exactly, it happened just a year ago. Last year until February, we still have a customer coming to Taiwan, but March everything canceled, and usually March spring season is my peak season. Yeah, so at time, a lot of CEO like from the bigger travel agency like Easy Fly, Easy Travel, KKday, those bosses, all my good friends, and they told me, Michael, don't worry, because we have experience from SARS. Yeah, so everything will be gone in August because of summer. Yeah, so I still have a belief at time. So
I hope you made a wager with them. On that.
Yeah. So, but until May or June, I figure, oh my God, this
is going to go on for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very long for a while, and then we start do the transformation about the company. So we start thinking about what's the next step, and the next step should be ready for the upcoming 3 years, not for 1 year. Yeah, continuous plan anymore. You need to think about more. Yeah, people. I just read news this morning. Like, there's a Harvard professor saying the COVID-19 will really disappear or will still be there. Everything back to normal now until 2025. Yeah, so at times it's really challenging for us even now. Yeah.
Do you have locally based customers though? People who want to do staycations?
99% our customer base are from forward.
Flying from outside.
From outside, yeah. 60% from States and Europe. Yeah, so it's a big challenge for us. But start from last October, we just establish a new e-commerce platform. Yeah, it's talk about artisans in Taiwan. So we are talking more with artisans in Taiwan, all artisans. For example, you're making a box for 60 years. You're making a light for 60 years. So we are talking to them and trying to curate experience from them. Yeah, so this is a new platform we're looking for to selling to a domestic traveler. Yeah.
Were there some destinations, or you mentioned earlier in the show, like kind of secret, more unknown places in Taiwan that you sometimes take your guests to? Were there places in Taiwan that you had thought in 2020 you were going to feature, you were going to encourage people to see something new that you had planned to show visitors to Taiwan, but because of COVID-19, you weren't able to show them?
Yeah, so...
And now you could share those secrets with us on
the show.
Okay.
But it's mostly in Mandarin. Yeah. I don't know about English name. So, for example, I don't know if you know, there's a great hidden place in Samu Lake. Yeah, it's called Maolan San. Yeah, Maolan is cats. I don't know how you translate, but for example, these place, everybody go to Samu Lake and taking a boat, right? Or living a hotel nearby. But this place is great place for a shore hike, and also this where the red tea, black tea for the plantation. And
it doesn't get a lot of visitors?
No, you don't find a lot of visitors. And it's you can overlook the entire Samu Lake by 30 minutes hike only. And also this is one of the weather station. So for example, these kind of places, I think it's good. You don't have a lot of visitor, but it's good for people. They want to explore more about Samu Lake. Yeah.
Tell us about normal times, and hopefully we'll return partially to normal times with the vaccine rolling out. How do you usually operate from when you first interact with guests or potential guests when they're overseas until they arrive? What do you do at MyTaiwanTour? Maybe what's different than from other tourist agencies? Tell us about the whole process.
You mean now?
Well, no, in normal times.
In normal times.
Which hopefully we're returning to soon.
Yeah, so how we process, because in 2016, before we usually engage a client with internet. So we do a lot of Google ad. And also, but after 2017, I thought the market will be really packed because each year we receive almost 15,000 clients worldwide. Yeah, so I start doing one thing. Just talk to the audience also for you too. We have another website called TaiwanSing. Yeah, .com, Sing, SCNE. Yeah, so this is only the only one travel content talk about Taiwan. Yeah, from this website. So we start thinking, before we selling more product like Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall, Taipei 101 to the foreigner, I think we have a responsibility, to let all the traveler around the world, to tell them there's more places to see it in Taiwan. So we start this content site to introduce all the hidden places I was talking about, all the foods you should find, not only the street food, all the fine restaurant, you can find in Taipei and all sort of stuff. So this one thing like we do in the content marketing. It's our major job for the past 2 years. Yeah.
Well, why do other tourist agencies or some of these guidebooks, why do they miss these places? Why are they so focused on Taipei 101 or Chiang Kai-shek?
Because I think...
What do they do wrong?
Taiwan Tourism Bureau usually co-work with Lonely Planet writer, all the guidebook writer, but it's difficult for Taiwan Tourism Bureau to change their mindset, They take you to... Taipei 101, all those fan trip, they are promoting the same stuff for over 10 years already.
Probably more like 30 or 40 years.
You see, I don't know, have you seen any like advertisement promotion in New York before about Taiwan?
Well, my criticism there is that when you see the ad campaigns overseas, they're so brief. Like they do it for a few months and then they seem to disappear. They don't make them sustainable like other countries do. Japan, Korea, constantly advertising.
Yeah. So the thing is, why I raise this question, it's usually what I see from, for example, London, the double deck buses, right? They put the god from the temple, the photo, and with a really ugly mask, but it's our gods. I don't know if you see the temple with I don't know how to describe, but it
was very white with some black.
How do you call it? Anyway, so those photos. I mean, I did some survey for foreigner friends. You say, I don't understand what's this image for.
It's kind of stereotype that foreigners have of Asia.
I think the problem why foreigners don't find hidden places in Taiwan or other interesting places in Taiwan because we're still using the really old-fashioned way to sell in Taiwan and also use our mindset to sell in Taiwan. I think, for example, sausage is good, then I sell to foreign. But some people, they don't eat sausage. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What about accommodations in Taiwan? There's a range, right? Everything from the minsu to those kind of fairly affordable but simple kind of business travelers hotels, and there's some really wonderful 5-star hotels now in Taiwan, and a lot more of them compared to years ago when there was very limited choices. What do people ask you about accommodations, and what do you typically recommend? And what about when you go to those secret places? What kind of accommodations do you stay in?
So, mention about these, I think the B&B Mingshu, it's really unique, in Taiwan. Because the term B&B in States or in Europe.
Well, we think of some, a very nice old grandma and grandpa. They bake pies for you.
but in Taiwan, it's totally different. Yeah, some Mingshu is like B&B is like 5-star. You or even luxury than 5-star hotel. You have your own swimming pool. You have all the meals eating out in the Mingsus. Yeah, so that's one thing that I really recommend to foreigners to stay in Taiwan, and which we don't have a lot of English content about those Mingsu in Taiwan. Did you find any English content?
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Sometimes there might be an owner who advertise on certain website platforms whose names begin with an A, but we won't sell their websites.
I know, but not a lot. Like for example, Barbara X something ago something, but they don't really find a really unique Mingsu. Yeah, usually they find really popular Mingsu already. Yeah, so this thing usually I will include in the customized package.
A few nights in a Minsu.
Few nights Minsu is a really local.
In the 5-star Minsu, or something that gives people a more local experience.
Local experience, yeah. But some Minsu with a local experience still luxury. So there's thousands of Minsu in Taiwan. And with a lot of stories.
What about for families, for foreign visitors, potential clients who contact you and they say they have small children and they're thinking of visiting Taiwan with their small children? What do you recommend for them?
Usually, for the small children, we will take them to the southern part of Taiwan, and especially Tainan. Tainan has a lot of historical sites, and also I think the farm lifestyle is very interesting to the foreigners too. For example, we take kids to the farms to understand what's agriculture life in Taiwan. This is something it's hardly for Singaporean. It's hardly for Cantonese to find this kind of lifestyle in their country.
In my experience, a lot of those places don't have a lot of English language information. So you really do need a tour guide to find these places and to enjoy them, to really explain what's going on there. So what about for people who live in Taipei now, like me, and they say, Michael, I just want to go away for the weekend, a staycation. What do you recommend?
Out of Taipei or in?
Tell us both.
Oh, okay.
For example, where would somebody take their wife for a 2-day staycation in Taipei or outside of Taipei?
I'll say in Taipei, it's the best time to stay in 5-star hotel in Taipei because you don't find a lot of tourists anymore during the weekday. So any 5-star hotel in Taipei is great. You don't find people, and it's a way to relax. But out of Taipei, I would say there's a place called Wulai. Wulai is a really good hotel and also a good place to see and great nature to visit. And it's not far from Taipei. It's only 30 minutes drive from Taipei. So this is good places to visit.
Who do you expect to be visiting Taiwan once the vaccinations are more common and the travel restrictions slowly are eliminated and the market reopens? Who's going to be coming here? You mentioned a lot of your clients are Americans and Europeans, but who are they? Are they, for example, are they people who already live in Asia? They live in Hong Kong, but they want to come to Taiwan, or they live in Tokyo and they want to come to Taiwan for a week, or are they coming on a regional tour? They're visiting all over Asia, and you're just helping them with the Taiwan part of a big 3-week trip. Who are they?
The guests we have, like usually they travel to Asia with a different destination. Taiwan will be one of the destination, but I think it's a total different scenario right now because after the COVID-19, I don't see people will travel to many places.
You mean even after the situation improves?
Yeah, I think we see the trend right now, like the traveler looking for the in-depth travel, so they're willing to stay at places for a week or 2 weeks.
So you think after the situation improves, people might be more likely to fly from the U.S. just for a trip to Taiwan and then go back to the U.S. They're not going to go to 3 or 4 other countries.
No, because as I say like before, like I don't think the situation will become better after my expectation is 2024. So we call a bubble travel will be one of the trend in the upcoming few years. And people, I think the travel trend, like people looking for the in-depth package. We don't do the point-to-point moving travel. People want more the culture immerse. They want to experience or talk to engage with the local people. People looking for the travel with meaningless or more meaning. So for example, like you can go engage with the local people and how you protect the environment. People travel because the travel expense will become more in the future. So every trip will become very treasurable for anybody.
And how can Taiwan really benefit from that? You said you think even as the situation slowly improves, a lot of the travel won't be a regional trip. People are just going to go point to point. They'll stay in one place. And they want to have a more immersed experience in that one place. How could Taiwan really position itself to benefit? Because people could do that trip, they could go to Japan, they could go to Korea, they could go to Thailand, and especially if they keep confusing Thailand and Taiwan.
I think
why would they come to Taiwan for that trip from America or from Europe?
So for 2020, I see the markets like because how we have done a great job for the COVID. Yeah, so people, I don't know if you see a advertisement. There's a Mark Cup saying, I don't need a therapist. Yeah, I just need to go to Taiwan for COVID-19. So safest place to travel will become the trendy words, keywords for any foreigner to travel to Taiwan. Yeah, so safe, and also how we did a great job for the COVID-19. Yeah, I think there's a big motivation.
This will be the selling points.
The great selling point. We're just selling the mark or selling a T-shirt. Yeah, I don't need a therapy. I don't need to go to doctor. Just go to Taiwan.
Well, besides that, though, what else will be the selling? Because the other countries will try to have a bubble too.
Yeah.
Whether it's Singapore or Thailand or people in America could still travel to places in the Caribbean or Europe for a bubble experience as well, if that happens. What else besides COVID-19 will be the selling point for Taiwan?
I think still like Taiwan is a great places like where you can do 1 day to the sea and 1 day to the high mountain. You can do anything in 1 day. You can go to a city with a great afternoon tea, and you can go to the wild nature, enjoy the hot spring. In everything in 30 minutes. Yeah, so you say when we're talking about these islands too small, but it's not too small. If you go around the island, you need at least 10 to 12 days to go around the islands. So I think the wild nature and also a lot of nature resource and also great people, I see a lot of potential in Taiwan. There's a lot of reason. Well, I can list out 100 reasons you have to come to Taiwan. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll get to share those 100 reasons with a lot of visitors in the future. What's the best way for foreign visitors? Hopefully, will be coming back and are listening to the show. What's the best way for them to learn more about your services or to start planning a trip? How do you typically recommend they engage with you, or what kind of information they should share?
So it's quite easy. Search MyTaiwanTour. You can find it on Google, and if you're looking for the customized service, if you have one person for travel to Taiwan, or even 200 people, if you have a corporate travel, we do all the customized service anytime.
Anything else you'd like to share with us about traveling in Taiwan now or in the future?
Okay, so I think it's a great advantage and great timing to travel to Taiwan because we cannot go anywhere else. And also, like during the weekday, it's a great time to travel. You don't find a lot of places full of crowd. So weekday is a great place to travel. And also, right now in Taipei, it's a great time to stay in the 5-star hotel, enjoying the experience you never have with a really good price deal.
So accessible to everyone.
Correct.
But hopefully they'll also get out and see those secret places that you mentioned, and also visit your the other platform you mentioned as well.
Correct. It's called mysciology.com.
You want to spell that out for us?
MySci, S-A-I. Sci is a mentor in Taiwanese. Ology, OLOGY.com. It's my new website.
And you can see a lot about some more traditional Taiwan industries, artisans and industries, and craft makers. Terrific. Well, thank you so much, Michael. This has been so informative, learning about your not just MyTaiwanTour.com, but also your past experience in airlines and the travel industry and living in Nicaragua. Hopefully more people will be looking for you and touring around Taiwan with your company.
Okay, thank you.
You've been listening to Residence Messenger on Taipei Broadcasting Station. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.